Welcome to Monza in the Ford Mustang. Monza, being as typical as it is 1 in 10 races are very, very good. This race being number 1. The race after that, well, safe to say, it all fell apart. So make sure you stick around for that. Fell apart like the wheel of that Porsche on the right-hand side. Oh, I'm sorry to make a joke about that. That must be heartbreaking at the start of the race and you just smash into a wall. Right, okay, breaking down for turn 1, where usually most people meet heaven. Nobody did. We all survived. Look at that. Brilliant. Even the green flag is waving at us out of sheer shock of how we all pulled that off. And actually, most of us did it too wide as well, which is credit where credit is due. Just a brilliant race overall. Now, braking at the 100 board on the right side, down to second gear, we have a late dive bomber who destroys the orange Porsche and gives us position to P8. Absolutely ideal. Porsche behind is getting very close to the rear end of this car, probably looking at how many pixels it took to create said bumper. On the other hand though, cold tires are a thing, and the Porsche is about to find out. Bang, straight to a wall. There we go, no longer under pressure from the car behind, 2.2 seconds away from the car up in front. Let's get our head down, foot down, and start reeling them in and getting away from the cars behind. I will say though that this lobby is very competitive and actually very fairly balanced. A lot of us during qualifying as well as lap time pace are all within attempts to a second of each other. It is a very, very competitive lobby. So 2.6 seconds may seem small, but it is a mountain of time to try and find back. You're looking for those micro attempts in the corners. You're hoping the car up in front makes a mistake so you can close that door a little bit more. Get into that slipstream and start reeling them in. And that's what it's all about, especially here at Monza, where it's so many fast straights that the slipstream is your best friend. Keeping up with somebody or keeping within a pack of cars is really what you need to do. Braking zone here has had its signs stolen. There they are on the left hand side. We almost missed that. Yeah. Trying to find a 100 board when it's no longer in the same place as meant to be is really difficult. So, you know, food for thought here. Don't use a marker that's destructible. You know, so if it is gone missing next time around, use the flagpole on the left hand side. And then about 50 meters after that is a great point of braking. Yeah. Lap 4 on the other hand, we gained another place. We're now in position 7. Still working our way up to that BMW up in front, who is 1.2 seconds away. And credit where credit's due, very, very quick driver. I would say we're probably both quite close with each other pace-wise. Slowly bringing them in here and there, and other parts of the track, they're breaking away from us. So it's a bit tit for tat at the moment. But it's all about knuckling down, keeping the pace up, keeping your composure, and just making sure that you don't mess it up, because the car behind will breathe all over you. They're only 2.5 seconds away. Green flashing light up ahead says it's fine. A couple of more drivers have joined the party. That is a McLaren up ahead. Oh, take that back. The McLaren up ahead is a lapped car. Sorry, I thought they were part of our race. That's a shame, because I thought we was going to gain a position. And before you all write in the comments and I say flash that light is blue, yeah, I have noticed it now. It is a blue flag light. When I just saw the flashing, I was like, oh, it's green. Yep, you know, your brain just assumes, but no, it's definitely blue. Oh dear me. Anyway, on the plus side, these two cars actually concede. Credit where credit's due, you two. Thank you ever so much. Absolutely brilliant. Next time, just hold that BMW up a little bit more and we can close that door upon them. Would have been very helpful towards our cause. But again, credit where credit's due. They saw the blue light, pulled over out the way and let us pass safely. So that is absolutely amazing. And that's what this race is all about. It was just a bunch of awesome drivers put into a lobby with all pretty much the same pace. And while yes, we are not right up behind the BMW, battling the BMW, it's just great to even smash in laps to try and keep up with them, trying to find those attempts. trying to make yourself better here and there. And you know, I'm not too sure where that car's going, but turning right is kind of optimal for this corner. To go back over the start finish line, going straight on and into the wall is less than optimal. I think that might have been 2 cars there because we gained 2 places. So yes, go us. We're in position 5. Absolutely ideal. And over a course of time, we caught up to the BMW. Now that's not because we were quicker. I'll happily admit that. We was not. The BMW hit a wall, and I don't know how or why they hit the wall. I think there was something to do with the Mercedes up in front, but that has given us the opportunity to catch up to that BMW, take that position away from them, and out the other side we go. To be fair though, they're still heavily battling, although the car is limping on. I will say though, it does feel like a hollow overtake, and that's not because we were quicker. You know, we didn't gain upon them because we were a quicker driver. They were right up where that Mercedes is, 5.5 seconds away until they had the contact with the wall, or some weirdness with the Mercedes. Not too sure what happened. We was quite a distance away. I'll happily admit. So it does feel like a hollow overtake, although they are keeping up with us, and I think given the opportunity, they are certainly going to have that position back, using us as a tower or slipstream at the moment. After the sign, braking hard, down to second gear. Yeah, they're still not put the signs back out. Come on guys, send the apprentice out, put the signs back up. If something happened to the apprentice, don't worry, no one's going to miss them. That's why there are apprentices. That's terrible. Oh dear me. Anyway, we have gained quite a bit of time away from that BMW, which is absolutely ideal. I think they've definitely got suspension damage. Does seem to be a bit weaker in the left-hand corners, although there's only a few of them. Yeah, it has benefited us. 5.7 seconds away from the Mercedes up ahead. So unless they have an accident, we have pretty much settled for P4. It would be nice if they had an accident. It would be considerate if they had an accident, you know? Just think about it. Just at the end of the race, just before you go over that finish line, just crash into a wall. Let us get a podium position. It would be really... I'd be thankful. What I'm not thankful for, though, is my fuel level. 3% remaining. Flash, you were cutting it close there, buddy. Near enough touching cloth in the fuel level. Kind of curious, though, if we ran out of fuel, would the BMW push us over the line? Doubt it. Nah, no one's going to do that for you. This is LMU. Everybody's in it for themselves. Let's go. And while we're all in it for ourselves, the next race, I'd like to give a bit of a prologue to it. Again, in a Mustang. Again, Monza. Thing is, we turned the aggression meter up a little bit. Kind of curious. I know a lot of you have said to me over the years, Flash, you're too passive as a driver. You need to be more aggressive, more dominant on a racetrack. And that's exactly what I do. And it ends up being disastrous. Yeah, I may have turned that meter up way too high, or it could have just been pure bad luck. But split 4, 15th position, actually qualified. It wasn't the greatest. Car on the right hand side has the smartest idea because, you know, turn 1, what it's like at Monza, we've only managed it in one race up to now. All the other races have been absolutely disastrous. So let's head down to turn 1. Brake, brake, brake. Steady. Everybody's now piling in. Right, okay, we're in one piece. We're in one piece. Oh, what's going on here? Ah. Well, now we get a better view of what's going on here. I stalled the car. We're last. Yay. Oh, typical. And I have rear bumper damage. Yep. Monza, turn 1. Typical. Let's try and stop reeling some cars in, shall we? Because being in position 22 is less than ideal. Not too sure what the BMW's doing. But that's a position gain nonetheless. And we need those positions. So if everybody else could pull over and let us pass, that'd be very much appreciated. I don't think that's going to happen, but the thought that counts, I guess. And as you can see from the start of the race, it's all pretty much downhill from here. While we are in position 21, less than ideal, but at least we're not out of the race, you know. The car's still drivable, a little bit of rear bumper damage. Yeah, it is what it is. And the car, to be fair, is driving absolutely fine. So let's try and make some places here. Mercedes is not too far ahead. We're in the slipstream. Bit of smoke up in front. Nobody is in the wall. I don't know where the slipstream power is in LMU. Can someone let me know? Is it like less than 1 second that you benefit from it? Is it gradual? You know, where's the optimal place for slipstream? I do know you get a great bit of side draft. That is a beauty. But slipstream, I'm trying to gauge whether it's worth actually staying in the toe of the cars up in front than it is to actually have your own bit of fresh, clean air. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, guess what's still here? The signs. Look at that. Just before the 100 board. That's how we know when we've got to slow down, because the signs are still there. There's been a crash. There we go. A position gain nonetheless. And we didn't punt somebody off for it yet. I did say yet. All good things come to those who wait. Dear me. Honestly, not the proudest moments. But coming down for this corner now. We're actually really catching up to Mercedes. Ooh, a little bit sketchy then. Everybody started bottling up, and we ran out of braking efficiency. McLaren backs out. Doesn't want to be a part of what is going on. And to be fair, can't argue with him, really. Sometimes it's better to concede than pull back. Stay away from the fight. Stay out of the fight if you want a clean race. Sometimes things can be a little bit hot, shall we say. A bit like the English weather at the moment. It is baking in here. You see the state I'm in, and I need a haircut. Yeah, I know. Not ideal. So yes, I've got to get that done. Look at the dust cloud up in front. Who has been gardening? Don't know. They're still on the track, so can't really find out who it is. But yeah, definitely taking some gravel home for the family. And away we go. Position 19. Right up behind this Mercedes here. Beautifully done. Braking down to third gear. Was going to look to make a move, but the door has been swiftly shut. So you know what? I'm going to use a great bit of side draft here. Keep them over to the left hand side. Come on, Mustang. Get that power in you. You have got it. Let's go. That's actually a really good lap time, 152.8. And we got in a purple sector there. Look at that. Anyway, braking late at the 100 board, making it just. Okay, we pulled that off once. You know what that means, don't you? It means if we could do it once, we could do it again, you know? And ingenious ideas that luck doesn't always work in your favor. You know, there is an element of skill to using a brake pedal and the gearbox to slow your car down and managing to do an overtake. So we're going to do it again on the black Mercedes. You know I'm laughing before a reason here, because you see the cars up in front? Yeah. Brake at the same point. Bonk. I am so sorry to that BMW driver. the carnage that was caused. So yeah, I do really apologise to the BMW driver. I did brake. I wasn't expecting you all to be literally parked in that area, and I just ran out of brake. So to the BMW driver, again, my condolences. I am really sorry about that. You guys know it's not something I like to do. I don't go around hitting people. I don't make a thing of it. I know a lot of people go, an accident happened, don't care. I care. It bothers me. And it actually affects the driving for the rest of the race, because I'm overcautious to not be cautious or have a crash, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it really does bother me. It's not something I take lightly. But talk about things taken lightly, we're in position 13. Catching up to the blue McLaren up ahead. Oh, there's a Porsche parked on the corner. That is going to be a position gained. Maybe two. Look at that, MP11. We overtook the Porsche, who was parked at the side of the track, and the McLaren, who took it very out wide. I was probably expecting the Porsche to reverse back, and if I anything, I was probably stupid to stay that tight to the Porsche, because if they did reverse back, would have absolutely destroyed us. But here's where things take a full-blown turn. Go around this corner now, you see a car rejoining a track. Straight to the racing line, because that is the smartest thing to do. And to be fair though, it wasn't causing an issue because I just go around them. Although, you know, it would have been nice to have the inside line. It is what it is. Braking at the board here on the right hand side. The McLaren absolutely sends it through, cutting the corner and the other side. And then does this weird thing. Starts weaving. Okay, no worries. A little bit slow through there. Let's see if we can get up the inside. Up to the right, to the left, and then brakes. Actually, brakes very heavy. For a corner, you don't really need to use full brake force on. So, kind of confused on what's going on there because I understand they rejoin the track. And then they cut a corner to jump a position. As they came out of the corner, they hit the brake pedal. When they at the bus stop talking about, you'll see a quick flicker of the brake lights coming on. And then when I try and gain a position back, they start weaving or blocking, whichever you want to call it. Look at that message. Nice one, Mustang. Well done, mate. Now, yes, I'm at fault for going into the back of them. Totally understand that. I'll happily take that on the chin. You know, it is what it is. But when you're coming down, you join a racing track, go straight to the racing line, and then jump the bus stop to gain a position. Out of the bus stop, you hit the brake pedal to, you know, bring you in. And then when I try and look for a move to overtake, you swing the car around in front to block the overtake and then stamp on your brakes. What do you expect my reactions to be? I'm already braking to try and give a bit of space, and then that, you know, and it's frustrating. It really is. You can see it's actually, I'm thinking about it here, where I'm just not driving optimally because nowhere on this earth that I like to hit another car. You know, accidents happen, yeah, but that in itself was a really crappy thing. There's more on it in the crash cam where we get our point of view from the bonnet, their point of view from interior of the car. So make sure you stick around for that, as well as all the crashes. It's pretty funny, to be fair. But let me know your thoughts on the incident with that McLaren. Am I at fault? I believe I am at fault. You know, I should have probably braked a little bit harder, but I wasn't expecting them to brake as hard as they did. Looking back at the replay though, really did change my mind on whether I'm fully at fault for that incident. But again, let me know what you guys think now, and then when you look at the replay, that'll actually be really interesting, whether you change your perspective on the situation. And talking about changing perspectives, we are in position 11, really gunning it after this McLaren here. Damage on the front, damage on the rear. The car is doing okay. I would say it's driving pretty well. Probably lost a little bit of top end speed, but top end speed is something that really isn't going to matter in a moment because we are really pushing this car and really trying to keep up with the McLaren up ahead. And credit where credit's due, they are being very, very quick and driving very well under pressure. The car is wrecked. Yeah. The car is absolutely foobarred. Oh dear, back to the pits we go. That's the end of this race. Lap 9, DNF. But on to crash cam, where first race here. So that's what happened to the Porsche. Going in a straight line is probably quite optimal, but not for all people. What is that Porsche doing? The person's still waving a green flag. Yeah, typical, isn't it? Ouch. Oh my gosh, just sends it back on the track. That is 2 people out of this race. There's a random wheel flying around. Yeah. Oh, the Aston Martin had a kiss from the Lamborghini. Probably not the kiss he wanted, but kiss nonetheless. Very aggressive driving there. Ferraris. Oh, I thought they were just going to just about save it from the drift, but wasn't meant to be. The Mercedes, though, and this Lamborghini become best of friends from this incident. That is the crash that we saw in the first race where they all met the wall. But see how close they are now? Such good buddies. Really close together. Probably all out. I buy you a round of drinks, you buy me a round of drinks. I don't think that's generally the case here though. I generally think Mercedes is probably very upset with the Lamborghini driver. And it shows really, because they're not overtaking, they're just sending it. I think the Mercedes driver is now satisfied. Lamborghini driver, on the other hand, probably not so much. Just say the first race was very tame. Second race, on the other hand, we have one lawnmower. This is the incident that sent us flying off the track. BMW took us out, which is fair enough. You know, they had nowhere to go, I had nowhere to go. It's a comings of togethers. And although very frustrating, it is what it is. And it happens to the best of us, happens to the best of drivers, but it gets sent to the back of the grid like that. On the other hand, this is the incident with the Porsche. Look at that, just about making it out of the side in one piece as the Porsche nails it to try and get themselves back on the track. Welcome to my dive bomb. And thank you to the Mercedes for getting us going again. Again, apologies to that BMW driver, but let's take a look at what happened between ourselves and the McLaren. So there we go. This awful point of view here is as far away as we can. I wish we could have it a little bit higher up, but you see the McLaren on the right hand side there, flat out down here. When we just after the Avis board, have 100 board, that is our braking zone. The McLaren on the other hand chooses to use their own braking zone. Cut the track. I expected like a slowdown or stop and go for something like that, but it wasn't the case. But there you go, a little bit of weavage as we was trying to feel our way through. Go over to the right hand side, they're following. Over the left hand side, they follow again. And brake. Absolutely destroyed them. Here's a view from the bonnet cam, so you get a bit more of what is going on, because to be fair, the interior of the Ford Mustang isn't great. You know, the windscreen is very narrow. So, yeah. Again, flat out down here. Braking just before the 100 board. Down to second gear. Corner cut. Again, expected a stop and go or a penalty or something. Like, you know, or could see the position, but there was nothing. But this is the weaving I don't understand. You see, it's reactory weaving. Reactory weaving, trying to say. I'll go to the right and bang it back over the left, and exactly as soon as I go left, they hang it left and then hit the brake pedal. Are you staying right or left? How is anyone meant to react in the time zone you're given? But this is from their point of view, and this is how they managed to go off the track. So yeah, there was no accident or anything involved. They managed to do it by themselves. Very easily done in that corner when you get on that throttle just a tad too early and the car's just slightly imbalanced. You'll see, quick reactory move to the inside line. Again, no harm, no foul, because they're trying to build a bit of momentum up, try and not lose as many places as they would want to. Braking far too late, thus is what happens when you cut the corner. That's a position gain, you know. And in reality, like I say, expected, you know, to concede the position, blue flag, whatever it is. Down to second gear, a little bit funky. See, this is the funkiness they were having. So, and you see the reactory moves, and then this is where the shunt happens, destroys their car and race. I don't know, it was all weird, and just as weird as what's going to happen in a moment. But that is the last crash here. Thank you all for watching. See you all next time.